They were used to being the dominant team in the league, the ones with all the firepower, but now they have to watch as their key players leave, their rivals get stronger, and their own path to another championship becomes harder. The WNBA landscape is changing, and the Indiana Fever are at the center of it all. Now let's take a closer look at what Colson truly brings to the table. She is not a high-scoring guard, but her strengths lie elsewhere. Her defensive abilities make her a valuable asset, especially in high-pressure moments. In a league where egos can clash and chemistry is crucial, Colson is the perfect player to keep everyone connected. That alone is why she is so valuable. A'ja Wilson knows this, and that's why this loss stings. It's not just about a teammate leaving, it's about losing a leader, a friend, and a culture setter. The Aces will need to find a way to replace not just Colson's defensive presence, but also her leadership. Sydney Colson may not be a flashy player, but she brings something you can't measure with stats: leadership. She knows what it takes to win, and she's going to play a huge role in shaping the culture of this young Fever team. Her defensive skills, basketball IQ, and ability to bring teammates together will be invaluable as Indiana chases its first championship in years. Aces fans are struggling to accept this shift. They were used to being the dominant team in the league, the ones with all the firepower, but now they have to watch as their key players leave, their rivals get stronger, and their own path to another championship becomes harder.
Sydney Colson, a two-time WNBA champion and a key piece of the Las Vegas Aces, has made the stunning decision to leave her championship team. But she didn't just sign anywhere. She joined Caitlin Clark and the rising Indiana Fever. This is not just a simple free agency move. It could change the entire balance of power in the league.
What do you mean Sydney Colson is joining the Indiana Fever? What does that mean? Indiana is just being so right now. They took DB, they took Natasha, now they got Sydney Colson. Like, why would they take Sydney from us? Why would they take Sydney from us? What the we ever do to Indiana? Except beat them. But like, what the we ever do to Indiana?
The two were more than just teammates. They were close friends. Colson was the glue in the Aces locker room, bringing energy, leadership, and experience.
Caitlin Clark actually spoke on this on Sunday, and she had this to say, quote, "I'm excited. Obviously, we made some great moves. I think Kelly and Amber and the whole Fever organization are helping us to win now, and I think that's really important. I think they're putting really good pieces together that are going to complement each other really, really well." And then she continued talking about Steph, their new head coach, and said that Steph taking over as head coach for us, I think is going to be really great.
Let's break it down. The Indiana Fever have been making serious moves. Ever since they landed Caitlin Clark in the WNBA draft, they've been building aggressively, adding key players to turn themselves into a legitimate contender. First, they signed DeWanna Bonner, a veteran scorer and lockdown defender. Then they brought in Natasha Howard, a versatile forward who can dominate on both ends of the court. Sophie Cunningham, known for her toughness and three-point shooting, also joined the team. And now Sydney Colson.
I'm excited for Sydney Colson, and I'm excited for the Indiana Fever because they have an amazing player who is also very hilarious, like one of the funniest people in the league. So really excited to see this.
Said, imagine the content between Sydney and Caitlin. It's going to be comedy.
Content for days. I know the Indiana Fever front office is just celebrating because that is a part of it too, is content and having players that are going to be good at that.
This WNBA season is going to be one of the most exciting in years. The Fever and Aces are now locked in a battle for supremacy, and every game between them will be must-watch basketball. A'ja Wilson will have something to prove. Caitlin Clark will be looking to solidify her place as a generational talent. And Sydney Colson? She might have just made the biggest move of her career. The balance of power in the WNBA is shifting. The Fever and the Aces were already on a collision course, but now this just added fuel to the fire. When these two teams meet on the court, expect fireworks. Wilson will have a chip on her shoulder, eager to prove that the Aces are still the best team in the league. On the other side, Colson will be out to show that she made the right decision in leaving. So here's the big question. Has Sydney Colson just helped build a new dynasty in Indiana? Her decision to leave isn't just about basketball, it's personal. It's a shift that could send ripple effects through the entire WNBA. Wilson's reaction has been telling. Social media erupted with speculation as fans noticed her cryptic posts and likes on Twitter. Aces fans were furious, calling the Fever's offseason moves unfair and accusing them of stacking their roster. Their team has gone from a bottom feeder to a legitimate championship contender in just 2 seasons. Caitlin Clark's arrival was already a game changer, but adding experienced veterans like Bonner, Howard, and Colson has transformed the team into a powerhouse. They now have the perfect balance of young stars and seasoned winners. Sydney Colson? She might have just made the biggest move of her career. The balance of power in the WNBA is shifting. The Fever are rising. The Aces are struggling. So here's the big question. Has Sydney Colson just helped build a new dynasty in Indiana? The Fever are no longer just a team with potential. They are real contenders. With Clark leading the way and a supporting cast stacked with championship experience, they are ready to make a serious run at the title. But this isn't just about Indiana's rise. It's about the fall of the Aces. They were once untouchable, but cracks are starting to show. Losing key players, dealing with internal drama, and watching their rivals get stronger, the Aces are in trouble. And if they can't find a way to recover, their reign at the top might be over.
It's been basketball for such a long time because that's what I played. But I don't know that God put me on earth just for basketball. And I think that my purpose is something bigger. And for me, no matter my circumstances, to show like joy.
Big moves are happening in the WNBA, and this one might be the biggest shock yet. Aja Wilson just lost her closest teammate, her right-hand woman, and she is not happy about it. She joined Caitlin Clark and the rising Indiana Fever. This is not just a simple free agency move. It could change the entire balance of power in the league. What led Colson to this decision? And how is Wilson reacting to this unexpected twist?
What do you mean Sydney Colson is joining the Indiana Fever? What does that mean? Indiana is just being so right now. They took DB, they took Natasha. Now they got Sydney Colson.
The truth is, this is what smart front offices do. They see an opportunity to improve, and they go all in. That's exactly what the Fever are doing, and it's paying off.
I believe that Amber Cox and Stephanie White, they were probably scouring the free agency market, and they were like, you know what? We do need to protect our locker room. We need to be able to bring in someone who can be a really good fit, someone who can really help to put these younger players at ease. And also, we need somebody to be able to play some.
Their team has gone from a bottom feeder to a legitimate championship contender in just 2 seasons.